She was born in 1887 to a piano teaching mother, so you can guess what she did in her early years. She performed in her first recital at 4 years old. How about that? I can't think how small hands are at 4 years old, how they could even reach. How could she even manage that? But she did. She went to high school, at Hampton City High School. She graduated as valedictorian of her class. But also, she was a serious composer by that time, and had already been published by the time she graduated from high school at 14. Wow. So she really was ahead of her time, ahead of her own years, actually. But she went to college at the New England Conservatory of Music. And there she began to continue to compose. Her mother encouraged her. When your mother encourages you to do something, it's more than just an encouragement. It's like, you will do this. Her mother was like this in terms of, she wanted her to present as a Hispanic because she said there is too much problem with a woman being an African American. And she wanted to save her daughter from any type of challenges, but Florence was open. She made friends with many of the composers and musicians that were also African American, and they really made some serious noise. No, they were wonderful in the way they worked together, and she continued to compose. Now she got married to Mr. Price, and they had 2 children, and she ended up having to support herself and her 2 girls because the marriage did not last. She was able to do that because she taught music, and it even happens that she lived with one of her students for a while, with her 2 children. She made it happen, and she continued on. Now, she broke her foot, which is bad news, but it was also good news in that it gave her a chance to be quiet and to finish her renowned E minor, concerto in E minor, and beautiful, beautiful piece of music. I actually was able to find it on YouTube, and as well as some of her other works. But she was just an amazing, amazing woman. And we're going to play today, Mrs. Grilke and I will play, well, she put together 3 spirituals that she had arranged. And we're going to play the 3rd one, which is Every Time I Feel the Spirit. But she loves spirituals. She wrote them herself, and then she arranged many of them. And we'd like to play this one for you. This is more beautiful. Every Time I Feel the Spirit.
photo. She was from England, born of Irish heritage, something to that effect. Anyway, a very successful female composer. She was married to her husband, unlike one of the previous composers, to one man for over 60 years. She composed just many things, almost in every aspect of music. She was well respected in all the circles. She became the first female chair of the Composers Guild of Great Britain, which was a great honor. I will be singing today, a song that I'd never heard of, and I'm so happy that I was introduced to it, Ophelia's Song. The text is taken from Shakespeare's text from Hamlet, and even though it is a very slow and sort of sad song, you might notice that the meters in the song goes from 3/4 time to 2/4 time, back and forth. This sort of contributes to the character of the song, a little bit of the uneasiness and the sorrow that she's feeling as she sings this.
She's alive. We're to a composer that is currently living.
Where is Claire?
So Claire Scholes is a mezzo-soprano, and most of her composing is done for voice. She's a New Zealander, and she's still active in composing and performing in New Zealand and around the world. She does have an international reputation. She composed this piece for violin. There's a very famous in New Zealand string instrument company that does performing, and so she composed this piece for them. Mambo, you could say it's part of the Latin dance, but there was an iconic figure in Australia and New Zealand that was famous amongst them in Australia and New Zealand, a satirical cartoon character kind of like Mad, what, you know, Mad Magazine, kind of, you know, along those that then became used in T-shirts, everything like that. So the title is a reference to, and it is, it's kind of a fun, satirical piece, you know, making fun of being serious, I think. So you'll feel that. Just check.
Let me introduce the group because we're not who we are labeled in the program. Because it's not their fault at all, but we have actually 11 singers and chamber singers, and we have 4 of them with us today because so many of our students work on the weekends, and then I had one yesterday, I'm sick, Mrs. Eubanks, I can't come. So what happened was we switcherooed around I'm Melissa Eubanks, the conductor, but I'm going to play because Tracy, I think, sings better than I do. And this is Tracy Hall, who is our regular accompanist for chamber singers, so she's going to be singing with us today. The rest of them are regular students. We have Kat, we have Maria, we have Emily, and Morgan. So we're just really glad to be here today. Okay, so we got that all figured out. Now, our composer is Sarah Quartel, which is right there. And she's the youngest composer, I think, of today. And I just thought this was kind of interesting, is how this whole history thing, you know, some things just kind of come around. But she was really inspired by music when she was sitting at the organ bench while her father conducted the church choir. He was, you know, an organist, and he had to conduct from the bench, apparently. That's what I'm going to have to do today. So, you know, some things come around. But anyway, she said she was sitting there and she would listen to the community that was created by the priests and the church choir singing together. And that just really inspired her throughout her whole, you know, she's from a musical family, obviously, and just very, you know, was just brought up in the middle of that. And but she realized that she, all through her growing up time, she was just entranced by the power of choral music to bring people together. And the interesting thing I thought was that this piece was commissioned by the Radcliffe Ladies Choir from Great Britain. And the text of this was inspired by their motto, which is friendship through singing. So I thought, wow, they really, you know, got a good composer to kind of communicate what their motto was. This group of ladies, there's 60 of them. They've been together since 1991, and the age ranges from the women in their 20s all the way through to women in their 80s. So I just thought that was really, really neat. And the other thing about Sarah Quartel is that she really wanted in her music to bring beauty to music. So she's got these long, beautiful melodic lines, and it's beautiful. She composes for all ages. She conducts for all ages, children's choirs all the way through. So, you know, she's she brings some innovative harmonies, melodies to her choral music, but it's very accessible. So I think that's really something that she's going to be bringing to the choral music world. And it's also kind of a neat thing, I think, for us to encourage all of you, if you're not involved in music, enjoy, you know, find some music, not just maybe as a spectator, but to find a place to make music as well. So we hope you enjoy all the way home. Okay.
Seem to be conversation. Can I have everyone come out, please?
You have to get up there for Miles. You have to look at Miles.
You have to do that.
Thank you so much for coming out and enjoying an afternoon or morning on Sunday. We know the weather's been crazy, and hopefully
God, is it
this
Sunday?
brightens and sunnies your day today. Don't forget about the upcoming events. I think we're going to have a great semester, the rest of it, and then we'll kind of go, we're done. It's going to be great. Thank you so much. Drive home safely, and now you have a photo op. Family photo op. Eagle View's here to interview. See, said the paparazzi is here.
Wonderful.